Hello, my name is Suckit. Whoops. And I guess we have Jade mapped to number 1 on the keypad. We're playing all the mods 9, and in one of the most recent updates, like I mentioned last time, oh my gosh, dude, stay out of my house. Uh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we got Greg Tech. Hello. So I need to think about a bigger base. And I lit a bunch of this up. I think we're gonna flatten out a bunch of ground here. And this is gonna be where we have our house and our mine colonies set up. I'm gonna start tearing all this down. Alright. That ought to get us started. That's where the village is. Base is up here. We'll be just a little farm up on the hill. It'll look cool. Alright, we got a porch on where the back's gonna be. We got a porch out front. Let's start filling this in a little bit. I've been using these for the roof. These Blackstone running bond slabs from McCaw's Paths and Pavings. And I think they look pretty good. Alright, we got the basics built over there, and I dug out a nice big basement. What we need to do now, we're gonna get into refined storage. Alright, we're gonna want to make a whole bunch of processor bindings. So let's see what we have for string over here. I'm sure we have a decent amount. Processor bindings are used in the recipes for, you guessed it, processors. And we're going to make a bunch of different kinds, but first we're going to have to make a good amount of silicon. Alright, we got a stack of this stuff. We're going to make ourselves some basic, some improved, some advanced, and then what we do with these is we throw them right back into the furnace, cook them up again. Now we have a quartz enriched iron B, giving us plenty of quartz enriched iron, but it's just another quartz and iron. It's really no big deal. We are going to make ourselves a controller. I got one controller per refined storage system, right? And it's not hard to make. There we go. Now the conceit of this mod, and applied energistics also, which is also in the pack, and we'll probably mess with too. We're gonna need a drive. It turns like stuff into energy. Data, basically, and then we can manipulate it and do auto crafting and auto processing. It'll allow us to automate nearly everything. Now we're going to be storing items on disk, and we're going to need to put the disks in a disk drive. So let's see, we want to make sure we're making the right kind. We're going to start, I think, with a 4K storage disk. So we will need 3 of those parts there, the 1K storage parts. Right. And we'll need some redstone. Let's get some of that. Here we go. 3 1K storage parts. And then the 4K, we're going to need a little bit more redstone. This will allow us to store 4,000 items. And that sounds pretty good to me. Just get a bunch of redstone. We're going to go through it, certainly. There we go. We're going to make another machine casing, because we're going to, this grid is, the grid alone will allow you to see what's in your system. It'll allow you to take it in, or take it out and put it in. The crafting grid, which is what we really want to make, will allow us to craft from it. Now there's 2 new things here, the construction core and the destruction core. It's still that same version of the pack as last time, so I got that weird bug with the storage drawers and the glowstone, but we got a little. So the cores are just basic processors and glowstone and basic processors and nether quartz. It's not super complicated. Where's the crafting grid? Here we go. What are we missing? Some glass, some glass. We can get some glass. That might work. I don't know if it has to be all the same kind of glass. Nope. There we go. Our first grid. And to make it into a crafting grid is not very hard. We used this thing to make these, right? Let's get some normal planks back. All we need is a crafting table and one of these advanced processors that we just cooked up. Awesome. So we've just got the very barest of the basics here. Right now, the basement is deeply unfinished. So we're just gonna, I've got all my power down here with me. The refined storage system is a thing that needs power, and we're gonna have a bigger power setup over there at some point, certainly. Let's get this set up in a way where I don't have to see that. That's the controller. We want our energy cell, and we're gonna want some pipes. Actually, probably up one higher, and the why of that will become obvious. This is just being clumsy, though. Okay, so the controller's got power. It's filling up. We're gonna put our disk drive down. And we're gonna put our crafting grid right up here. Now, right now, we can't really put it, we could use a crafting table. We'll need a disk in here to really do anything. But you can see now it's got 0 of 4,000. We throw a bunch of this stuff in here. I'll throw all that stone. What else can I throw in here? That's the usage. Here's the disk drive. Okay, 399 items. It's 9% full. So now, from within here, and you can see there's all, you can sort it and do whatever you want to do. Now it is very easy for us to craft because we have access to all of these items, and we can use JI to click in and out and do the whole thing. We're going to make ourselves a 16,000 item storage disk, and we'll be able to throw everything that was in those chests back home in here now. Now I still want to be able to use the storage drawers because you know, we've got like 12,000 deep slate cobble alone. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make something called an external storage. We will first need some cables. Actually, we'll probably need a good amount. And I think, we'll just need a destruction core. Okay. I brought these down. Where are we going to put this stuff? Probably right along here, huh? We'll want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to want 7 blocks of room. But let's go ahead and we can put the storage controller up. We'll put it up. This is going to have a different ceiling on it. That's should be as high as we're able to place anything. Just need a nether quartz for the destruction core. Yeah. Here we go. 1 external storage. And this thing will allow us to, we're going to set a priority of 20 so that it's higher than this, which by default is 0. This will allow us to, if we hook it up to our storage system here, and it just has to touch any block, we'll have access to everything that's in a storage drawer system. So now, if we were to link this thing and look in the crafting grid, we can see all the nether quartz, and we can take it out in the block form and everything else. So now it's time to move all the drawers. Alright, we had a crash and I lost a bunch of my drawers. So you can see right where I lost them. So there's that. But we've got, all our bee processing and all the food all getting sent down here by ender chests, because all those chunks that stuff is happening in is force loaded through this mechanic. Now there's a few more things that we want to do here. The first of which is we want to make this obsidian furnace work off of RF. And I think this is, okay, no, that's generating power. Okay, smoking, blasting. Placed in the fuel slot of a furnace, only works in iron tier above. I'm pretty sure this is what we want. We don't have any sticks in this thing? We don't have sticks, really? Let's see. We're going to need some redstone torches. We're going to make a comparator. Huh. Is that a goofy comparator recipe and I didn't notice? Actually, I think it is. It's whatever that is. There's our comparator. Here's a wireless heat receiver. So we want to bind it to an energy source. That's not what we're trying to do. Put it up here. Oh, okay, I see. It's a block that we need to make. I've never done this before. We're gonna need another comparator and a couple other random parts. Now we just have to feed this thing energy. So if we were to put it, let's see, if we were to put it like right back along here, right? It'll hold 1,000,000. Let's see. Okay, so now it's bound, and we can put it in here, and I think we can... Oh, look at all this stuff, huh? Lot of... How many diamonds do we have? 346. Awesome. I think now... No, we put it up here, right? Seems like it went in. Nope, it just went right there. We got a little config here. Okay, so it really does go in the fuel slot. And now we can just, alright. Don't seem to be running a dearth of power. So we want to start getting into auto crafting and auto processing. The first thing that we're going to need to make is a pattern. Here we go. It's not that bad. It's just quartz, enriched iron, redstone, and glass. That will, among other things, we'll have to make another grid. But what we want to do is we want to make a pattern grid. That'll allow us to teach this thing recipes. Here we go. One pattern grid. And I made an extra pattern. I'll stick this thing, I think, right here. That'll be fine. And what you do is you put a blank pattern up in here. And you can use JI, whatever you want to teach it. You get the recipe in there. We're going to turn it off exact so that it can use any kind of glass. But this, if we had a crafter, would make patterns for us. So let's make a crafter. Here we go. We're gonna start with just the normal one. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, very good. We'll need another machine casing. Oh, time to sleep. There we go. Our first crafter. Now on its own, this thing will hold 9. We can do better than that, so we're going to. We're going to immediately upgrade it to an iron crafter. All we're really going to need is a chest. And I know we have some planks. There we go. The iron crafters have 3 rows. Now we're also... okay. We're also gonna want the wrench from refined storage. Here it is. It's a basic processor and some little, what do you call them? Where are we gonna put these things? Probably over here, I guess. Now, it doesn't matter which way these things face if you're just putting patterns in them for regular crafting. Once we get into auto processing, it will very much matter. But we've taught this thing patterns. Let's see if we can make a couple, right? You see, because we have a recipe, this thing is here. Well, we don't have enough glass, but we could make 9, right? There we go. So let's teach this thing a bunch of recipes. We're going to teach it how to make iron crafters. Why not? We'll need to teach it how to make construction cores and destruction cores. What do we got here? Now, if you press shift, you can see what you're working with. You can't really tell with the... No, that's not really... Let's teach this thing how to make spruce planks, first of all. And let's just throw all these up here before we start getting confused. Alright, we'll make a bunch. Now we can come over here with our spruce planks. Teach this thing how to make a chest. When you're programming a pattern, it seems like it always defaults to what you have a recipe for. So now it's not just like any, Twilight Oak chest or whatever nonsense. So, iron crafter. Wonderful. That's not all we're gonna need. We're gonna need an importer. We're gonna need a lot of importers. These are what we're gonna use to take things out of our machines and put them into the system. So let's go ahead and see if we can make ourselves one. There we go. And we're gonna make ourselves a crafter. Very cool. Now, like I said, these do matter, which direction they're facing. You want to have them so that the, well, so that it was just like it was like that. Just like that, right? Very good. The arrow is sort of pointing down. And we're going to put this here and connect it. And in our config, okay, that's our output. Very good. We're going to turn the automatic input and output on, and wherever the iron is, it's here somewhere, right? Where's our iron? There it is. We could watch that tick up. It had less in it. It's got so much in it we can barely tell. But it's because we have the priority set on the external storage to 10. It will, this will, when it enters the system, just because it's entering in the disk drive doesn't mean it's going into the disks. It's going to go into the system. And this is the highest priority storage for iron. So that's where it's going to go. Alright, we had to run a cable over here. Everything's got to be connected. So what I want is to teach this thing how to make glass. Alright, where's our good old sand? Good old regular sand. We'll need some more patterns. Now if we want to make glass, we, click it in from JI on like a smelting thing. Here's the sand. You'll notice this processing is checked. That's because it's a processing recipe. So we've got glass now, but we could like take it out and demonstrate. Like, let's say we wanted to make some more patterns, right? Oh, we're going to have to teach this thing quartz-enriched iron. Let's do that. There we go. Oh, we need another pattern. There we go. Alright, there we go. We'll throw this up here. And now we should be able to make it, right? Didn't have enough to make 10 before, but now we can make 20. And what it's going to do is it's going to throw sand in here. This is going to send it right back into the system. It's going to craft up the quartz-enriched iron for us, and sooner or later, we'll have our patterns. Now, before we do anything else, we need to teach this thing how to make speed upgrades. So we're going to teach it clocks. We're going to teach it honeycomb blocks. Let's get some regular honeycombs out to make this simple. And you can do that manually. And sometimes you want to. And we'll need to teach you upgrade bases, and honey treats, and honey blocks. Alright. We're just going to throw them all in here. And let's start with 3 of them. Forget any recipes? We didn't forget any recipes. It'll just start making it for us. There we go. Now you can put these in the hives too. Any of the productive bees things that has a GUI with like these upgrade slots, you can put most any upgrade in. There may be exceptions. We'll find out. Now we're gonna have to get into GregTech pretty soon. We're gonna start by making. See, we got steam is our first thing that we're probably gonna end up needing to make power with, I would think. The other option is we could just kind of go for it, right? Well, there are steam macerators they're so much easier to make than these things, because we'll need all these plates. Well, maybe let's think about plates first, right? There are a couple ways we could make this, and probably the easiest is a compressor from Bast-Ra. We're gonna teach this thing how to make some pistons, and hopefully, just for this one time, we're gonna make ourselves a hammer. And I believe we have steel plates. Where's the regular steel plates? There they are. Do we have any steel? We've got dark steel. We have steel dust. Okay. So what do? We just smelt this stuff? We want to make a recipe for it? Yep. Awesome. I think it's just as simple as, yeah, okay, very good. So go ahead and make the compressor. Here we go. We do not have everything. Iron. It's iron. Okay. Thought it was steel for some reason. We'll make 6 of these. And I guess we need another piston, huh? Maybe I forgot to craft them. Let's do this real quick. Alright, 1 compressor. And we'll just throw it up here. Looks simple enough. Doesn't seem to have like a settings, so we'll just have to hope this works. Throw a crafter up here. And let's make a recipe for steel plates, because I'm sure we'll need those, right? Come over here to the compressor. There we go. And I'll throw it in here. And let's take them out. Let's see if it'll work. Sure looks like it's working. Takes a minute. Alright. Very nice. What I'm on the trail of here is a macerator. I want to be able to do a bunch of stuff. So we start with this low voltage electric piston, right? We've got the steel plates, no problem there. As for this other stuff, steel rods. We could... Really looks like you make these by hand, doesn't it? Magnetic steel rod. Is there a better way to make those? Okay, we could do it with an extruder, but that puts us right back where we started, more or less. So I think for the time being, we're gonna have to do it with a saw. Let's go, that's the steam one. We want the fancy one. Let's see. Okay, diamond file, sterling silver, rose gold, stainless steel, steel. That sounds good. We'll just put this right here. Let's probably have to make some steel. Alright, there we go. 2 steel rods. Getting there. We're gonna need tin cables and rubber sheets. Okay. How are we gonna manage this? Fluid solidifier. Okay. Basic electronic circuit, more steel plates. Okay, this actually is starting to look possible. Okay, the more I dig through this, the more it looks like we're not gonna be able to rush past Steam. That's okay. And I think that's gonna about do it for this time, folks. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.